Hello, this is Bullet, aka the Passive Aggressive Sherpa, and happy Friday, everyone. I hope you've been enjoying Forsaken as much as I have. In a few moments, we're going to see where Zur is and what he has. But at the end of the video, stay tuned for this, I'm going to offer some suggestions for hitting 500 if you haven't already. I suspect there's a lot of you that have been waiting for the weekend to get your grind on. I have suggestions for you, as well as the all-important question, how do you get your second super? I've answered how you get your first one in a previous video, but I've been asked more than once, how do you get your second one? I was going to make this into its own video, but I didn't get a chance to get my own super yesterday because I just ran out of time to get stuff. But you shouldn't have to wait for me to get my shit together. So I'll explain how to do it at the end of this video. But first, where is Zur and what does he have? Zur is at the usual location in the tower. If you don't know where that is, and since you can't track him on your map anymore, just follow my path. But a warning, don't get your hopes up. Almost everything he is selling sucks, and the faded engram, gone. But I want to give a shout out to one of my followers, Dejario, I'm probably butchering that, who found Zur for me this week. He also found him for me last week, but I had just already found him. But thanks, my friend. Side note, I'm assuming he is a he and not a she. How awkward. And again, if I butchered your name, I'm sorry. Okay, on to Zur's inventory. Let's take a look. And I need to apologize here, as I didn't really spend enough time with each item. I was just kind of in shock that there was no faded engram, and half of this crap is the same crap from last week. We had the Prometheus Lens and the Ashen Wakes last week. The only good thing is that everything but the weapon comes with new Forsaken rolls. But aside from that, about the only thing worth picking up here is Nezarec's Sin. So that's going to be my pick of the week. This all threw me off my game. I didn't even really look at every item to see what it had as far as perks go. I just kind of sat there in disgust for a minute and left. Then I started making this video and realized I had to go back and get that info. So here's what each item offers as far as perks go. Alright, first up we have the Prometheus Lens, and I believe these are the same year one perks. I could be wrong, but seeing as we can't add any mods to them, I'm pretty sure this is all the typical year one stuff that we've all had dozens of times. Then we have young Ahamkara's Spines. These have the new Forsaken rolls attached to it. I already have this, so I'm not buying it this week. Some of these perks are pretty good. I love the hand cannon loader and the grenader thing. I love the fusion rifle deal, but most of all, heavy ammo finder. Oh, that's much needed, and thankfully it comes on a lot of exotics. Then we have Nezarec's Sin. Its primary perk, void damage kills, increase ability energy recharge. Hands-on, not bad. Another not bad one. I'm not having any luck using the bow, so this is really insignificant to me, but eventually I'll get around to it. Shotgun reserves. This is great if you're running shotgun. And again, heavy ammo finder. I love that. Then lastly, we have Ashen Wake again. Its primary perk, fusion grenades now explode on impact and gain increased throw speed. Then we have the usual mods here. Impact induction, that's pretty much standard. I use that all the time. Hand cannon loader's not bad. Fusion rifle loader, not bad. Shotgun scavenger, not bad. And then again, we have the heavy ammo finder perk that you get a chance to have heavy ammo drop when you kill something. And then the 5 of Swords, if you run Nightfalls, these are critical, so you can change the modifiers. Just remember that the modifiers affect everyone in your fire team. So whoever's the fire team leader, theirs is the only card that matters. And that's it for Zur this week. Now on to what you need to know for the weekend. I know a lot of you are getting lost in all there is to do in Forsaken, and I can't blame you. I have only been working on my Titan as of yet. I've got him to just over 500 light, and the list of things I have not yet done are insane. There's so much to do and see that it's almost impossible not to get distracted by all the bounties and quests. But there are things you need to do first, like completing the campaign and then unlocking the Dreaming City. That's part of a quest you get from Petra after the campaign is completed. It doesn't just happen. You need this destination so that you can start unlocking your other super abilities. You can get your first super during the campaign, but the others, you have to work for them. We'll talk about that in a minute. So when it comes to ranking up, my first suggestion is to stay focused on the campaign. Don't get lost in the bounties and other quests too much. It doesn't hurt to pick up bounties when you need to, like if you're going to go to a certain destination for whatever reason, pick up the bounties. You should be able to collect on some of them as you're working through the campaign. Don't worry about earning any powerful gear until you've reached 500, because almost everything drops, or everything that drops up until 500 is pretty much powerful gear. Save those powerful gear rewards for when you've reached 500, because at that point all the vendors offer 500 gear. Most of the blues will drop at 500, so you'll need those powerful gear rewards after you hit 500. When it comes to infusing, don't. It's insanely expensive to infuse things right now. I suggest choosing one weapon and one exotic armor piece that you feel comfortable running with throughout the campaign. You can infuse these items, but everything else, just keep using rare items that drop. Almost everything you do is going to drop a couple of rare items at a higher level. Just keep swapping them out as you get them. This saves you a ton in materials. I had a ton of materials stocked up before Forsaken dropped, and I burned through most of them about halfway through the campaign because I was infusing everything. I was so excited. It was new gear. I have to use it. Well, that was a waste. Also, this is crucial. Keep checking back with Spider a couple of times a day. He sells materials, but those prices aren't set for the day. Check back a few times a day, because last night he was selling most of his materials for just 1 shard for 5 material items. I bought over 1,000 dusk shards, 1,000 phase glass things, and 1,000 data lattice. These prices change, so be careful. Be most careful when buying masterwork cores, because it'll tease you and say you can buy 1 masterwork core for 1 legendary shard, and you'll start, if you're not paying attention, that price goes up each time. It's like the first one you get for 1. The second one will cost you 10 legendary shards, and it goes up. I looked away for a moment, looked back, just as I saw that I had clicked to spend 600 and something legendary shards for 1 master core work. I was so furious. I honestly was about to book a flight to Seattle so I could go to Bungie, find out who was responsible, and slap them with a wet noodle. I was pissed off. Once you get to 500, then it's okay to start infusing a little. Pick the items you routinely use and infuse them, because 500 isn't the max. Now the powerful gear really comes into play, but just follow the same process. Don't start infusing every new thing you get. Just hold on to it. I've been waiting for items to be at least 10 levels higher before infusing them, because I just want to save on those materials. And lastly, how to get your second super. It's kind of a pain in the ass, but here you go. First, you need to complete the campaign and the quest that drops that leads to opening the Dream City. There's a new public event there called the Blind Well. You have to complete the first 2 tiers of this public event. It's similar to Escalation Protocol in that it has several levels. Thankfully, we only need to complete the first 2, but that only gives us a chance to get what's called a Seed of Light. Then you use that to apply to whatever super you want to work on next. The higher the levels in the Blind Well, the more chances there are in getting those Seeds of Light to drop. But keep in mind, the base level for this is like 530, and you really need several players to get it done, or at least a really strong fire team. And tier 3 is a recommended 560 power level. So I would just grind tier 1 and tier 2 until you get the seeds that you need. And that's about it. Remember, if you like this video, please hit that like button and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. It's always appreciated. And if we could get 1,187 likes on this video, that'd be great. But most of all, thanks for watching. But seriously, subscribe to my channel. Thank you.